video on security. Second video on security, web app development course, Strathclyde. Last time we looked at MySQL injection, this time looking at JavaScript injection. As before, I'm using a very simple chat room. You type in a number, and if there's messages left with that number, you see them. You change ID to see messages left under a different number. Okay. Last time we prevented MySQL injection by typing cryptic commands like this. This time what I'm looking at is JavaScript injection, because if you look back at the code, I insert new messages into this table that I've got safely. Okay, so MySQL injection ain't going to happen, but I trust those messages and I just copy them back out to the user. So I select them all and I show them all back to the user. So I can actually include some HTML here. If I can type. Or and people might be tempted to click on that and follow the link, and that could take them somewhere spurious. But more worryingly than that, I can actually include some script. If I add that as a post, browser actually catches a security breach here, so it doesn't work the first time, but if I add a new post with a blank one, my alert happens. Okay? And if I change post chat ID and I show 12, my alert happens. Because if you view the page source, you do have to reconfirm this time. Then you see that there's the posts that we got, hello, another, this is bold, the hello with the link, and then script. It's kind of a strange place to have some script on a page, but the browser doesn't care. It sees the script tag, it then runs the script afterwards. So we've injected code there, and it's full-blown JavaScript, and it's running on this page. So that can go look at my cookies, that can go look at my session variables, that can do lots of things, and it can redirect me. Because I can add, if I look in the database, you see that the script has just been stored in the database and that's copied straight back to the user. I'm going to delete that so it doesn't bother me. Back to the chat, I can also put some script in. So window has an object called location that has a function called replace, where you can type in a URL. And that does a redirect. Oops, nope, it's not like that, it's like that. And that should be an end tag. So I'm typing HTML here that is going to be injected into the page. I add that post. Again, the browser's actually caught that, so I have to add a blank post afterwards. And then I go straight off here. URL's changed. If I copy that and paste it back and I load the page again, it takes me straight there again. Even if I close the browser, didn't close the browser because I've got another one open. Dink, donk. Okay, things are fine, and I can go and look at number 21, that's fine. But I look at 12, the JavaScript has run, and I'm redirected off. And it doesn't even show up here, as it's hard to see the evidence of it. And if the URL was similar to my URL and the page design is similar, it would look similar, and I might be asked to log in again there. So I would log in and give the fake site my username and password. Okay, spam isn't a fake site, it's just got a good name. So how do we prevent that? First of all, I have to take it out of our database. So phpMyAdmin, yep. I have to log in. And I will delete the last 2 elements of 12. They're gone. Very simple, particularly with the code we set up last time with the real escape string, because all we have to do now is, before we call real escape string, there's 2 things you can do. HTML entities is the first. Okay, it's a function call. It's a PHP function, so we can look up its manual entry. And it takes a string and it gives you back a safer string. What it does, and there's lots of parameters here that you don't have to worry about, but its basic effect is that there's a bunch of characters in HTML. So if we look down at HTML, the key ones are like angled brackets. They're meaningful in HTML. They actually have equivalents. There's a coding which I've not looked at, where you can say ampersand greater than, and that puts that character in on screen, because otherwise you can't have that character on screen because it assumes it's the start tag. Okay, so there's greater than and there's less than. And there's also at. So there's amp as well, because otherwise it would assume you're starting one of these things. Okay. And what HTML entities does is it converts anything in this string that would be a risk to HTML into that encoding. Okay. So if we go back to our chat room and I try and add some script, we now just enter it like that. I spelled it wrong anyway, it doesn't matter. But if we look in the database, I have to rip this off. You see it's gone in with all this ampersand less than, ampersand greater than, ampersand quote, because it's escaped all the things that might be dodgy to HTML and stuck it straight in to the database like that, so that it comes back the way it went in, the way the user typed it, which is lovely. And it prevents the script injection. The other thing you can do is just strip tags, which is usually much cleaner actually, because this time, if I just copy that, paste it back there, I might even spell it correctly this time. If we add that post, it goes in like that, because what strip tags is just, oh, that was a tag, I'll just strip it out. Okay. It doesn't deal with the other issues, but they're not as important. It's the tags that are the dangerous thing. Okay. And why is that dangerous? That's really dangerous because JavaScript injection allows major security hacks, because if you remember when we loaded the page, it had actually injected on the reply area. So the script was running on my site from my server. It can redirect, as we did, and that redirect could have parameters associated with it, and those parameters are coming from our page. So it could leak cookies, it could leak session IDs, it could just redirect you to a page that looks very similar, and a user would think that it's been redirected. One of the tricks that people do is they spell the URL slightly wrong. so that you don't notice it. You change an O to an A, and you're never going to notice that if you're redirected, if you've got the styling all looking good, and you're just randomly asked to log back in again and you're feeling secure because you think you're on that site. So it's a really dangerous thing to allow cross-site. That's where that's a cross-site scripting attack. Okay. Normally, JavaScript's got lots of rules in place to prevent scripts from other sites being run on your page. But these scripts are running on your page because you're showing them out of your database. So you really have to take care to prevent them. So read up the book on preventing hacking attacks. There's whole tons of stuff out there in security covering different aspects of security. But if you can stop MySQL injection, whoops, back page, and you can stop JavaScript injection, you've covered the two main fundamental problems people have. And you also always encrypt passwords in your database using a one-way encryption function. You've got basics of security covered. But you should never trust your own security unless you've done a really strong security course. These are just the basics. Hackers are nasty beasties. You can think of lots of ingenious ways of breaking into our sites. These are covering the basics, but you need to do more if it really matters. And that's us for the web app development module. Thank you.